What's up, boys? Welcome back. Are you excited about today's podcast? Yeah. So, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Everything Product. We talk about different product management concepts, latest technologies, and we have been exploring a lot of AI tools nowadays. So, I don't know if you remember, we spoke about Replit, Lovable, and we also spoke about Bolt.new in the last couple of weeks. When we started thinking about building these websites, mobile apps, and stuff, right? One thing that was difficult when we were exploring those tools was building backend functionalities. How do I have my tables? How do I change those? Do I still need a backend engineer if I'm using those tools? Today, we are going to explore another tool called Superbase, which is basically integrated with Lovable. This makes your entire backend process easier where you don't have to do everything by yourself. Rather, we can just use this and change everything that you need. In order for us to go through that, Sidhu will be walking through the app he built, how he did the integrations and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. So before we get started, right, I want to basically talk about the problem you're trying to solve here. So what you're trying to solve is, right, so when you go to these sites like ChatGPT and Claude, the better your prompt is, the better answer you get, right? So for that, you need a structure to the prompt and essentially include what all you want. A basic prompt will give you some stuff, but a better prompt will give you a lot better information, right? So I think so prompt engineering is an art. So the problem is, right, whenever you want to get really good outputs, you have to construct that prompt, spend some time and all. So the problem this is solving is for any product manager who is working on either discovery or customer interviews or writing email to the customers or even just picking out pain points, problems, there are multiple different prompts that are there. So what I'm trying to solve is, could there be a place where I can go search these prompts and see what are the most popular prompts for this use case, use that and get better results from ChatGPT. So let me share my screen here. And last time when we saw it, the version was something which I built in Replit, but this is something which I built in Lovable. So what I did is, you actually have a prompt hub here. You can go and explore different prompts. So let's say I'm doing customer interviews, right?
Sidhu, while you do that, this is amazing. Compared to Replit, I feel like the UI is much better. It goes with a specific theme. Fonts are better. Got a better layout.
And it actually also got me to a point where I can actually launch this product. So I can go in and search, right? So when I go in and search, it'll give me all the prompts with uh, customer in it. So you can say, right, okay, I can go and explore all of these different prompts here. And it also gives me the count of times people have actually copied this prompt. And it in the most popular sorts section in the home page, it actually sorts all of the prompts by the number of likes and reviews it's getting, right? So I can go inside and when I try to copy, it says please sign in to use the prompt. And you can actually go in and also copy here and all of those things. And again, every time I try to do that, it says go in and sign in. So, and there are also categories you can browse through. When you click on the category, it actually takes you to that specific prompt, right? So all of this functionality is directly built into the website. So let me quickly sign in, right? So I have two different sign-ins. One sign-in is like a admin user. So what it helps me do is, I have a dashboard which gives me all the different prompts which I entered as an admin. Then I can actually also see all the prompts which I liked. It also gives me a history of all the prompts I searched. I also have like a prompt limit usage, which I actually added. So if you're in a free tier, you can only copy like 5 prompts. After that, you have to go to a paid version. I don't have it, just like I'm trying to experiment with different things here. And you can also go in and try to upgrade to different versions here. So the cool thing is, you have a admin dashboard which lets you approve prompts other people have actually added to the website. And then you also have different categories which you can add, right? So I asked it to say, like, can I, if I want to add a new category, I can add it. If I want to merge old categories, I can also merge that. And when you go to a new category, you can also add tags, icons, and a parent category and all of that stuff. So this is all making it easy for you to go in and search. All of this was actually done by Lovable. I was giving it problems which I want to solve in the website, and it was coming up with all the functionality here. And so this is all the admin dashboard, right? And I'll sign out and just sign in as a regular user. So as I sign in as a regular user, what I do is I could go into this prompt, but whenever I try to copy a prompt, it says you have to upgrade, because I only have like 5 times for me to go in.
Probably you might want to like not display everything as well, so that people just don't copy from the UI too.
Yeah, that's right. But the intention was that
Yeah.
you can go in and explore, do and all. But so I want to add another functionality which says instead of copy, you can click on the button. It directly takes you to ChatGPT. So you're making it easy for them to directly run the prompt. And
Nice. I love that.
something like that, the paid version. But end of the day, the reason why I was showing all of this functionalities, right? All of this has a lot of flows built into it, right? So imagine if you're a product manager, you have to write the sign in flow, sign up flow, also the flow of how the search for the popular prompts is, like what are the considerations. It also actually considered the number of copies, likes, and also reviews, and it's actually giving a percentage for the search criteria also there. So if it's just a copy, it's a lower, at least ranking. But if it's a like or a review, it's a higher ranking, right? It has percentage and weightage there. And even in the explore page, it has all of these. It is basically sorted by the number of time you copy and so on and so forth. So when you see, right, it has a lot of flows, and all of these flows need different database tables. All of the database tables were actually created in Superbase. So what you do is you connect Superbase to Lovable, and it creates all of these different tables. So I can actually show you the schema here. So this is the schema database management system which they have. And when you go,
So you can zoom in a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. So I'll specifically show you the prompts page here, right? So the prompts page has all of these different tables that are created, and you have different IDs, and each
Sorry,
ID.
1 second. So basically, what it's saying here is, so each row basically is a specific prompt. It has an ID, it has a title, description. What is the context for it? What category it belongs to? Okay, got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and all of this, and you can again, right, just go back to, so there's a project, right? So each project you can have a database, and it'll tell you the number of requests, auths, storage, and all of that information. And you can actually go into reports.
Actually, one question, Sidhu. So,
Yeah.
what database did you use?
I don't know, funny actually. So that's the beauty of it, right? I was asked, like, my problem is I need storage, because there's so much flow and storage that needs to happen, because you have to store the prompts, you have to store the number of likes, the copies, all of those have to be stored, right? Ask it, can you create a database? And it created it. I don't have any idea of what kind of database
That's
it.
probably actually a good thing, because you don't want to get bogged into all of the details. Rather, let it figure out all the technical nuances, but just give you a database that you need.
So it gives you the details about total requests, response times, the network. And I think the most interesting thing, right, it talks about the database itself, like what is the memory usage, CPU usage. I think at this point I'm the only user, right? When you have more and more users, all of these things change, and the overall performance of the web application changes. And I think at this point I'm just choosing like 0.7 GB, and the free tier gives you like 8 gig here. And I think, right, you can increase the disk size, and this is what I was talking about, right? So currently you have a nano database which is free, but as you increase the database, you are charged by the hour. So the highest tier here is $5 per hour, which lets you store 256 gigs of memory. Essentially, if I launch it to a lot of different people, when they add more and more prompts, this would cost me a lot of money, right? So it's not free to run resources. I'd say, right, like people who are building something on Lovable, they still have to also consider and think about the cost that comes with it, right? So I think that's something
Actually pretty good, Sidhu. Like, if you think about $5 an hour, okay, which is basically $120 a day. If you think about running a company, that's actually not a huge cost.
Yeah, and and I'm not sure how fast the usage and all of these things change, but if I launch a beta or an alpha version and see if like 20 or 30 people start using it, I'll know how these things change and how much it would cost me actually. So I think it's pretty straightforward, Fanny. So I also did a couple of things, right? So as an admin, you can actually go in and add prompts, and as a user, you can add prompts. But I also had like an import function which I added, which actually I can show that to you. So if I go in and join as an admin, I go to this admin page. I have like a download template, which helps me to download an Excel template where I can go in and just give all the prompts in Excel. And when I use the import function, I just have to go in and add all of the prompts which I've entered, and it'll go in and add it to the whole overall prompt hub. So I think it's
So
it's
basically,
really good.
if you want to do it manually, instead of you putting, I mean, on UI, it basically still takes time. So if you want to give it via spreadsheet, this could be an option.
This could be an option, and if I want to do it in Superbase itself, I can actually do that too. So if I
Actually,
directly
one quick question, Sidhu. So what other functionality does Superbase have? Is it only database management or anything else?
I think they talk about edge functions, and you also have a lot of connectors, right? So you can connect to different client libraries. So and they also have app frameworks which you can connect to, mobile frameworks which you can connect to. So it has a lot of options if you want to use.
And is it only connect to Lovable or you can connect to anything?
No. I think even Bolt uses Superbase, so it's a different product altogether. But it's making database management much easier. So another thing which I want to basically
I feel like
talk about,
all these guys, Lovable, Bolt, everyone, they're just integrating with the exact same tools, making the UI work and marketing as much as possible so that the more people they can get, the more they can survive in this competitive market.
yeah, and I was adding all of these prompts, bulk importing the prompts, right? But I can also go in and select these rows and directly delete them. So if there are any duplicates, if there is something that is spam, I can go and directly delete and change it. So it's easier. You can actually see the complete schema. So yeah,
It's interesting. We were used to search and use different keywords to search for information. Now we are doing a search to search for prompts what I need to use.
that's right. Yeah, and what I did was for all of these different prompts and all, right? So I fed all the prompts which I had to Claude and asked it to convert it to a CSV file. And there's also a CSV import which you can use. So if you import the CSV, it'll actually create all of the tables for you. So that's another option for you to do. So I was playing around with all of these things, and I think there are so many easier ways to manage databases now. I have no idea, how to go in and add a row, delete a row in database before. This is all me learning, and as I go and try to build something like this.
Yeah, this is amazing stuff.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think that's another tool which we explored today.
For everyone who watched the video so far, hope you guys liked it. If so, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will continue to keep exploring more AI tools in the upcoming videos. So, see you in the next one.